Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it has all come down to this. This is the ace match between Idra and Squirtle. Game 5 here. It's been a pretty crazy battle throughout this series. Once again, this is the IEM Season 5 tournament, so both these players really need this victory. The loser's going to be eliminated. The winner's moving on to the semifinals. And yeah, both these players playing with everything they got. Should be a good battle on Shakura's Plateau. They have spawned pretty close together. I mean, sure that Idra would have preferred sort of cross-positional, but you know, you can't win every roll of the dice when it comes to spawning locations. And yeah, we'll have to see how it plays out. A little extractor trick by Idra. Often if you create the Overlord just a little bit late, if you're just a little bit slow on creating the Overlord, just use the extractor trick and then you go over supply and just keep your drone production going. It's better than not building any drones for a while. First pylon actually going up down here. Very interesting. So Squirtle here is probably going to try to take a very fast expansion. And I actually like this play from Squirtle because in the previous games, Idra has been very slow to scout, whereas Squirtle scouts immediately every single game. And Squirtle's going to attempt a forge fast expand, and Idra's not going to realize this for at least like another 30 seconds. I mean, obviously Overlords are just deathly slow, and he's going to realize Squirtle has spawned relatively close. Oh, you know what? Very, very crafty. Idra didn't even need to see a probe. All Idra's Overlord saw was this mineral patch, and you see 1370 instead of 1500, and he moves the Overlord away. Not that that really matters in this scenario, just because Squirtle does actually have a probe already in Idra's base. Sees the spawning pool first, extractor after that. And that doesn't surprise me one bit, just because this has been the same build Idra's been doing every game, which I don't know if that's actually a good idea. In a best of 5 series, you don't want to be doing the same thing every time. But Squirtle now doing a forge fast expand, and Idra realizes it. He knows that he's going to be behind economically if he doesn't do something about this forge fast expand. So the probe there might have delayed the hatchery just by a few seconds, but now that there's some Zerglings out, it's going to chase the probe all the way home. Another probe hanging out in the middle of the map. This drone made it out alive. Of course, didn't have to worry about getting killed by a stalker or anything. He could hang out for just a minute longer, but now that the photon cannon is up, that's going to be the end of any scouting for our Zerg player, Idra. And what does Squirtle have planned with this probe? The Zerglings aren't chasing it, so I guess they didn't manage to spot the probe. Could very well put down a pylon back here. It's pretty common to do that as a Protoss player. The hatchery now about halfway complete, and we have a Roach Warren on the way. And it looks like this is actually a complete wall off. So yeah, Squirtle turtling pretty hard here, and that can often, yeah, really work out for Protoss players in this position. I mean, he knows now that Idra is picking up a natural expansion of his own, so he can't expect pressure from the Zerg player too soon. But we'll just have to wait. I mean, Idra is making a lot of roaches. He's got 3 out already, 3 more on the way, and another Stargate. So just another sort of divergence from maybe a regular Stargate play. What I'm sort of trying to say is that Squirtle in these 5 games has tried about 5 different Stargate builds. So if you're a Protoss player, definitely check out the builds that Squirtle has been using. I mean, PvZ, it's like a pretty good tutorial on how to handle PvZ. He's been pretty successful so far. I don't know who's going to win this match, though. I'm quite excited as Idra now rallying some units, and this is what I mentioned at the beginning of this cast. You can't just let your Protoss opponent freely expand, because as a Zerg player, you will be behind. So now the roaches are on the way. They have arrived. Nice little force field there. Oh man, did you see there was a roach like glitching out, caught in between the force field, the Psy Core, and the gateway, and it did get taken out. Now, I've mentioned this in one of the previous games as well between these two players, that roaches now easily outrange photon cannons, and it looks like they are going to be able to focus down this cybernetics core. The Forge now has run out of shields as well, but unfortunately for Idra, the Void Ray has arrived, and the Void Ray not going to be fast enough to catch these roaches, even though the roaches don't have their speed upgrade yet. But it still does put Idra in a tough position. He is trying to get out an extra queen, so 2 queens would definitely be able to at least turn away the Void Ray for the meantime, especially if you can get a transfusion banked up. Lair Tech on the way, and only finally now getting a second gas. This Void Ray, we'll try to keep an eye on it. And yeah, without a cybernetics core for a little while, we're just finally getting that cybernetics core warped in at his main base. We'll take a look at the income tab. Both players neck and neck with harvesters. Robotics facility on the way as well. Just actually putting the robo in his main base. Let's see how this Void Ray attack pans out here. 2 queens, turn it away. Really no problem at all. Not getting any more air units though. He just has the 1 Void Ray, and yeah, no Phoenix, no Void Ray, anything like that. Turtled up pretty hard with 4 photon cannons, and only finally now getting Warp Gate research. This is going to be like the latest Warp Gate research ever. It's going to be arriving after the 10-minute mark. Now he actually does have a Phoenix. I guess I misspoke before. He does have 1 Phoenix, 1 Void Ray. No action really for this Phoenix. He did eat some shots from the Queen. Doesn't have any kills, and the Void Ray does have a fuse. Been picking off Zerglings here and there. I can see 1 Zergling dead there. 1 died here as well. But with a couple of Queens out, it's not going to be too difficult for the Zerg player Idra to handle. Hydra Den on the way. And is this Overlord going to get taken out? Yes, it is, and the Void Ray is going to escape. He's going to want to turn that Void Ray around, and definitely does before taking any damage to the body. Some Speedlings now out, taking control of the center of the map. Phoenix definitely patrolling, probably spotted them as well. 3rd base going down for Idra. Making sure as well, Idra wants to make sure that Squirtle's not taking any crafty 3rd expansion, not trying to hide an expo anywhere. The Void Ray hasn't spotted the 3rd hatchery just yet, but if he moves it down to that base, he certainly will see it. Robotics bay as well, being hidden just at the back of the base. Idra definitely has no idea about that. And oh, this kind of sucks for Idra. This hatchery's going to take a lot of damage before the Queen. Oh, and it's actually forced to cancel, and the drone gets taken out. That is bad news for Idra. Staying stuck 2 bases versus 2 bases in ZVP is not where you want to be. And not having any anti-air to deal with that Void Ray, just a small misstep by Idra. He is getting Hydralisk range. He is going to... Actually, he's not getting any upgrades yet from his Evo Chamber. Squirtle, on the other hand, getting the extended Thermal Lance, and he's... of course, that's Colossus range. And he's also getting ground weapons level 1. And, uh-oh, Squirtle here going to be setting the stage for a scary counterattack. Actually, it's not officially a counterattack. Usually you call it a counterattack when your opponent is attacking as well, and then you counter attack. Pretty logical stuff there, but this is going to be a pretty scary push nonetheless from Squirtle if he decides to do it, but maybe not. Just picking up a 3rd base and choosing to expand into the Zerg player. As a Zerg player, you want to expand away from your opponent like we see Idra doing, but Squirtle here more than happy to expand towards Idra. And this Phoenix now with some fancy micro did manage to get 1 kill. In all likelihood, that was an Overlord just because he doesn't have a Phoenix companion. And there's no air units yet for the Zerg player, so it must have been an Overlord. And Idra now opening up the floodgates as well. And he knows about it. This is an important moment in the game here. Idra needs to push, and he needs to stop this 3rd base from going down. Some excellent force fields combined with the minerals, trapping so many roaches in the back. Nothing is in range of the Colossi. These Colossi just ripping apart the Zerg army. 3 kills and 6 kills so far. Stalker's doing a lot of damage. Force Field's really doing work, preventing Idra from getting in range of this Protoss Death Ball. This is looking to be a pretty dire situation for Idra, and he does call GG. Some pretty cool builds that Squirtle has shown us throughout this series. Some great Stargate play, keeping the Zerg player pinned down, shutting down the third base earlier in the game. But Idra he almost didn't have a choice. I mean, letting the Protoss get an uncontested third would have probably been GG for him, so he tried to shut down Squirtle, but that's it. Squirtle moving on to the semifinals. I'm looking forward to seeing how he's going to do in the rest of this tournament. I hope you guys enjoyed this best of 5 series. If you enjoy these videos, I mean, be sure to subscribe, because I'm going to be casting many more games for you guys, posting up more videos. Okay, take care, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace out.